Have you ever wondered why some people online claim they are making money just by completing small AI-related tasks, while others say the same platform wasted their time? That exact debate has been surrounding a platform called Outlier. Some people say it's one of the easiest ways to earn online in 2026. Others say the work is inconsistent, confusing, or even frustrating. So what's the real story? Is Outlier actually legit? Or is it just another overhyped gig platform that promises more than it delivers? In this video, we are going to break down everything you need to know about Outlier in 2026. What it is, how it works, how much you can realistically earn, the pros, the downsides most reviews don't talk about, and most importantly, whether it's actually worth your time. Because the truth is, Outlier is not a scam, but it's also not what many people expect when they first sign up. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what Outlier actually is. Outlier is an AI training platform that pays people to help improve artificial intelligence systems. Companies building AI models like chatbots, language models, and automated tools need real humans to review responses, label data, and correct mistakes. That's where Outlier comes in. Outlier connects companies that need AI training data with freelancers who can help improve those models. So when you work on Outlier, you're essentially helping train AI. You might review AI-generated answers, rate responses, rewrite sentences, fact-check information, or label different types of data. This type of work is called AI training or data annotation, and over the past few years, it has quietly become one of the fastest growing types of online freelance work. The reason is simple. Artificial intelligence is expanding incredibly fast, and AI models need massive amounts of human feedback to improve. Without humans reviewing the data, the AI can't learn effectively. So platforms like Outlier exist to fill that gap. Now, here's something interesting. Outlier isn't actually a brand new company. It's connected to a larger AI data company called Scale AI, which provides training data for major tech companies working on artificial intelligence systems. That connection is one reason many people consider Outlier to be legitimate. It's part of a real industry with real clients that need real data work done. But just because a platform is legitimate doesn't automatically mean it's a good opportunity. So let's talk about how Outlier actually works. When you sign up for Outlier, you go through an application process. This usually includes creating an account, verifying your identity, and sometimes completing a short assessment. The purpose of the assessment is to test your skills. Depending on the role you apply for, they might test things like writing ability, critical thinking, reading comprehension, or technical knowledge. Once approved, you gain access to tasks inside the platform. These tasks vary depending on the project you are assigned to. For example, some tasks involve evaluating AI responses. You might read a question, then look at 2 AI-generated answers and decide which one is better. Other tasks involve editing or rewriting AI responses to improve clarity, accuracy, or tone. There are also tasks where you label pieces of data. This could involve identifying sentiment in text, categorizing information, or marking specific elements inside a dataset. The work itself isn't usually difficult, but it does require focus and attention to detail. Because the quality of your work affects whether you continue receiving tasks. If your accuracy drops, you might lose access to certain projects. Now, let's talk about the part everyone cares about. How much does Outlier pay? This is where things get a little complicated. Outlier doesn't have one fixed pay rate for everyone. Pay depends on the type of project, your role, your expertise, and sometimes your location. In general, many workers report earning anywhere between $15 and $40 per hour for certain projects. Some specialized tasks can pay even higher, especially if they require technical expertise. For example, coding-related AI tasks or advanced writing tasks may pay significantly more than basic labeling tasks. However, that doesn't mean you'll always be earning that amount consistently. And this is one of the biggest realities of Outlier that new users often don't expect. The work can be inconsistent. Some weeks, there are plenty of tasks available. Other weeks, the dashboard might be empty. This is because the tasks depend on active projects. If a company finishes training a model or pauses a project, the available work can suddenly drop. So while the hourly rates can look attractive, your total monthly earnings may vary a lot. Some people treat Outlier as a side hustle. Others manage to make it a more steady income stream by working across multiple projects, but consistency is not guaranteed. Another important thing to understand is the onboarding process. Many people sign up expecting to start working immediately, but in reality, it can take time to get approved for projects. After your application, you might need to complete training modules or qualification tasks. These are used to evaluate whether you understand the guidelines for each project. Sometimes the qualification tasks are unpaid, which is something many users complain about. But once you pass the qualification stage, you can begin working on real tasks, and that's when the paid work starts. Now let's talk about the pros of Outlier. One of the biggest advantages is the pay potential. Compared to many micro-task platforms, Outlier often pays significantly higher rates. Platforms that involve basic data labeling sometimes pay just a few dollars per hour, but Outlier projects can pay much more, especially if you qualify for higher level work. Another major advantage is flexibility. You usually work whenever tasks are available. There's no strict schedule, no boss watching over your shoulder, and no fixed shifts. You log in, complete tasks, and get paid for the work you do. For people who enjoy independent work, this can be a big plus. Another benefit is that the work itself can actually be interesting. Because you are interacting with AI systems, you are evaluating responses, spotting mistakes, and helping improve how AI communicates. In a way, you are contributing to the development of the technology that many companies rely on today. And that's something many freelancers find exciting. Now, let's talk about the downsides, because every platform has them. The first major downside is task availability. As mentioned earlier, projects can come and go. Some workers log in and find plenty of tasks available. Others log in and see nothing for days or even weeks. This unpredictability is probably the most common complaint about Outlier. Another issue some users mention is complicated guidelines. Each project has its own set of instructions. Sometimes these guidelines can be extremely detailed and require careful reading. If you misunderstand the rules, your task accuracy might drop, and if accuracy drops too much, you might lose access to the project. That means you constantly need to pay attention and follow instructions carefully. Another downside is the learning curve. While the tasks themselves may seem simple, the training process can feel overwhelming at first. Some projects require reading long documents explaining how to evaluate AI responses, and the qualification tests can be strict. If you fail them, you might not get access to that particular project. There's also the issue of communication. Because you are working remotely on a platform, you usually don't have direct contact with managers. Support can sometimes take time to respond, and if you are removed from a project, you might not always receive a detailed explanation. This lack of transparency can frustrate some users. Another thing to keep in mind is taxes. Since you are working as an independent contractor, you are responsible for handling your own taxes. The platform pays you for completed work, but it doesn't automatically deduct taxes like a traditional job would. So depending on where you live, you may need to set aside a portion of your earnings. Now, let's address the biggest question. Is Outlier legit? Yes, Outlier is considered a legitimate platform. People do get paid for completing tasks. There are many freelancers who have successfully earned money through the platform. Payments are typically processed through common payout systems, and users have reported receiving their earnings without major issues. However, legitimacy doesn't mean it's perfect. The platform has mixed reviews. Some people love it, others find the inconsistent workload frustrating, and some users quit after realizing it doesn't provide steady income. So the real answer is this: Outlier is legit, but it's best viewed as a flexible side income opportunity rather than a guaranteed full-time job. If you go in expecting consistent work every single day, you might be disappointed. But if you treat it as a gig platform where you complete tasks when available, it can be a useful way to earn extra money. Now let's talk about who Outlier is best for. This platform tends to work well for people who are comfortable working independently. You need patience to read instructions, attention to detail to complete tasks accurately, and discipline to manage your own work schedule. People with strong writing skills often perform well on the platform. Those with technical skills like programming or data analysis may also qualify for higher-paying projects. Students, freelancers, and remote workers sometimes use Outlier as an additional income stream. However, if you need guaranteed daily work, a traditional remote job might be a better fit. Now, here's another important point. Many people assume platforms like Outlier require advanced degrees, but that's not always true. Some tasks simply require good English skills and strong reading comprehension. Others may require specialized knowledge, so the opportunities available to you may depend on your background and skills. The more expertise you have, the more likely you are to qualify for higher-paying projects. Another question people ask is whether Outlier is available worldwide. The answer depends on the project. Some tasks are open to workers from many countries, others are restricted to certain regions. This is usually because companies need data from specific languages or markets, so availability can vary depending on where you live. Another interesting trend in 2026 is the growth of AI training work. As artificial intelligence becomes more advanced, the demand for human feedback is increasing. That means platforms like Outlier could continue expanding, but it also means competition is growing. More freelancers are signing up for these opportunities, so standing out with strong skills and consistent performance can help you access better projects. Now, let's talk about a few tips if you decide to try Outlier. First, take the training seriously. Many people rush through the guidelines and fail qualification tests. Reading the instructions carefully can increase your chances of passing. Second, focus on accuracy. Quality matters more than speed. If your work consistently meets the project standards, you're more likely to stay on projects longer. Third, check the platform regularly. Sometimes new tasks appear unexpectedly. Workers who check frequently may grab tasks before they disappear. And finally, treat it like a skill. The more experience you gain evaluating AI responses, the easier the tasks become. Over time, you may qualify for more advanced projects. So, is Outlier worth it in 2026? For many people, yes. It's a legitimate platform that offers flexible remote work and relatively strong pay rates compared to other micro-task platforms. But it's not a guaranteed income source. The availability of tasks can change, and the learning curve may require patience. If you are looking for a side hustle that lets you earn online while contributing to the development of artificial intelligence, Outlier could be worth trying. Just go in with realistic expectations. Treat it as an opportunity, not a promise, and focus on delivering high-quality work if you want to maximize your chances of success. Because in the growing world of artificial intelligence, the role of human feedback is becoming more important than ever, and platforms like Outlier are one of the places where that work is happening. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.